We've gotta save Sanguinius.
We gotta save Sanguinius of the Blood Angel.
Horus, no! Put your brother down.
The 20th Primarch is Goofy.
Stop ripping his wings off, Maxie.
They call me Goofilius.
Yeah.
I'm the leader of the Goofy chapter.
I committed genocide.
They did it with a smile.
So much blood. Yeah.
We had the highest kill count in the drop site massacre.
Yeah.
Stop calling me ignorant, Kyle. I don't even know what the fuck that word means.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MD Cast, episode 24.
Is it 24 already?
Yes,
Yeah, it's 24.
it's 24.
It's
I
fucked
like how
up.
I ask this question every single fucking time we record this.
Bro, is this even the MD cast?
Is this even fucking words?
What? So today we're having some Power Jack and cake.
Power Jack.
We're power jacking on the cake.
Yeah. We call it the soggy cake.
Soggy cock biscuit.
Alrighty then.
Okay, so we're make things simplified. We are drinking Jack Daniel's honey with Powerade mixed with Sprite.
Yeah.
Tyler has enlightened us on the existence of Sprite mixed with Powerade.
Yeah, and by enlightened, I mean we stopped by a fucking place and got some, and then I guess by chance we mixed it with alcohol like a bunch of idiots. We also have cake, alcoholic cake.
Yes.
We're not alcoholics, alright?
Speak for yourself, Tyler. As you heard, we're joined by our usual hosts. It's Heracles the Mighty. It's Kylophilus the Lame, and it's Tyler the Drink Master.
What the fuck? Why do I get a normal name?
Fine, you're Tyrillian.
Alright.
You're Tyrillian the raccoon.
The half-breed.
All right. Anybody had some dreams this week at all?
Dreams.
Dreams
Dreams.
with Radon Randell.
No, I've just had like fever dreams that don't make sense.
Okay, explain them.
I was yelling at Connor because I was in a heated argument with him, and apparently he wanted the radio, and I'm like, "You want the radio, fucking ass!"
What?
And that was apparently an insult. He apparently took it very seriously because, like, you say I want the radio? Like, yeah, you want the radio, you fucking radio wanting ass.
You Radiohead.
Fucking Radiohead.
'Cause I'm a creep.
I'm a weirdo. I want the radio. I don't belong here.
I don't belong here.
You don't belong anywhere.
You remember the Great Globula thing?
Great Globula.
Globula, where it's like I am the Great Globula, and then he's like, and it's like a big fat guy with a bunch of rolls and stuff.
I do remember that.
What?
The Great Globula, Tyler.
It's this weird guy in a library. He's like, glibby-dop-bop-big-glibby-glibby-glibby.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know how. I didn't explain that very well.
I just remembered the visual image in my head.
I had a dream that thing, it walked over to a wall, and there was a glory hole on the wall, and somebody shoved their dick through it, but it was like a 48-inch member, and they ripped it out of the wall, and then they walked over to Imp Midna and beat the fuck out of her with it.
What?
What the fuck?
Yep, those are my dreams.
make more sense than that. And my dreams don't make sense.
I am the Great Globula.
Oh, that just reminds me that I was recently down at the mall, and we walked down the same path that you and I went after watching Joker, and I just thought back to your way with words.
Oh?
What did I even say?
Because we told it on the podcast before, but it's just fucking funny, and it's even funnier under the way with words context. But we were passing by a place, and we were joking about going into like a punky lingerie store.
Oh, you already told this one.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I told it, and you had said someone walks up to me, "Hey, can I help you find anything?" Bam! No.
Now, Kyle,
Yes.
you also have a way with words when
No, I don't. I
when
just
you-
have a way of being stupid.
when you are drunk, you are one of the funniest people to be around because you will say the most incomprehensive shit. Like during our little break, we had Q over and we were getting into the sauce, and Kyle was hitting it pretty hard.
Yeah, that was the first time in a while where I actually hit the bottle pretty fucking hard.
Mm-hmm. And me and Q, we were talking about we were probably talking about guns.
Probably. There was a lot of gun talk. A lot of gun and military talk.
Yeah, but out of nowhere, you stand up straight like a 90-degree angle, and you were like, I have a rodent in my attic.
It's true.
And I was just thinking, you point into the air, how horrifying it would be if it was a person. And then Q's like, well, I guess there's only one way to find out. You just go up there. And then you were like, but if I went up there and it was a person, I wouldn't know what to do.
What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
Holy.
The sauce is a wild mistress.
It is indeed an incredible thing. I don't even know what I'm like when I'm drunk because I don't even remember.
You are all sorts of things.
I've been told that I'm those when I'm sober as well.
You go wild, and then you jump over things and throw things. You scream a little bit, and then you calm down.
That's just Eric when he's sober.
I know. There's not much difference.
Okay, I have a topic.
Okay.
What is your favorite family memory with, like, your parents or, like, uncles or aunts or something?
Fucking, I don't know. There have been nice times hanging around with.
Sorry, continue.
There have been some nice like family gatherings I've had and talking to a bunch of people I don't actually know. I've probably told this before, but one interesting time was when I was at a family gathering at a dude's house in our family, but he was very sick and because he's very old. And I met him for the first time, and he said, well, I hope the next time we meet it's under better circumstances, and he died 2 days later.
Yes, this is also my favorite family memory.
I thought that one was just funny.
What the
What the fuck, Kyle?
You fucking idiot!
Okay, here's a good one. My grandpa, alright, no one gets along with him. No one gets along with him, but we put up with him, and I make it a point, because you can, whenever whenever his daughter, my mother, speaks to him, you can just hear the venom in her voice, because she is just so sick of him and done with his shit. And so I kind of adopted that, but in a more like, in a less serious manner, so I'll just make a lot of jokes at his expense, but he's so old and, like, broken down that he doesn't hear any of it.
Yes, these are great family memories.
No, but,
you
like,
have.
last Christmas was the first Christmas where my brother's fiance ever came. And so it was his first time around them, and we had told him, like, what to expect, but during dinner, because I sit next to my grandpa, he's, like, saying all these things to me, all sorts of weird shit going on his tangents, and I just keep making, like, snide remarks and jokes at his expense, and only my brother's fiance hears it, and he's just not hearing it, and sometimes he'd go, what'd you say? And I'm like, nothing, don't worry about it. And it was an amusing. There was one bit where he started talking. It's like, you know what I think of these people or whatever, and I sit there. I'm like, I don't think I want to hear this opinion. This one might be a little outdated. And I'm of course hinting at like racism and shit. And I look at my brother's fiance during this, and he's laughing at it, and he says whatever. It's like, he says whatever like normal thing he was gonna say. It's like, oh, you have pleasantly surprised me this evening. Good job, old man.
What the fuck?
He didn't hear any of it. So yes, that's a
You
fun
took a
one.
very roundabout way of saying "Okay, Boomer."
Honestly.
Look, I don't say okay, boomer. I say everything in the most roundabout way.
Okay, Tyler. Okay, Tyler.
Okay, Tyler.
What's your favorite family member?
I can't really think of any.
That's
I like how you changed the question.
sad.
You said, what's your favorite family member?
I said memory the first time.
The first time, but when you asked him, I thought you just said member.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't hear either, so.
I also have a stupid way of speaking.
Fair. We all do. That's why we're here. Making an audio podcast.
I guess just like the family gatherings kind of deal.
Nice, nice.
Nothing noticeable.
There was one that I'm remembering. I might have also told this one. It's very hard to tell what I haven't told on the podcast before. But I wasn't here for this one. But my brother went up to a little gathering thing at my uncle's place. You know, kind of, it's very far out. He went on his own because he drives on his own.
I piss in my cup.
Oh boy! He did it.
The madman.
But when he was up there, and my uncle lives on like a farm. He's got a barn and all that. He's got animals. But
Does he fuck him?
no,
Good.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I don't ask what happens up there. They used to have some goats. I really like those goats. But they, my brother was riding on an ATV up there because like, bro, I got this ATV. Try it out. Just like, oh, okay. And he almost knocked down their barn. He drove like he didn't know how to fucking work it properly, so he drove right into a support beam that almost knocked the entire thing over.
Lordy.
Fuck. What about you, Eric?
So I came a little bit prepared, and I remembered something that happened in Ireland.
Oh boy.
On my one of two trips to the fine country of Ireland to visit family. My father, he's honestly like Michael Cera in a way, where he's very charming, but he just finds himself in the most awkward situations just all the time.
Oh yeah.
And we wanted to go and see one of the big attractions in Ireland, the Mountains of Mourne. Or no, sorry, it was the Giant's Causeway, one of the other big attractions that are also giant rocks. Kyle, you're weird.
I know.
He's fucking jamming a fork into his tongue like a madman.
One day I will become the triple snake. Yeah.
But we go to the Giant's Causeway, and we have a fair amount of family there. One of my fine uncles there, he's a cousin. It's weird, but he served in the military for most of his life. Since he was 18, he was in the Navy. And the way it works there is, if you're in the Navy or serve in the military in Ireland, you get access to a bunch of like free shit.
Yeah.
Where
Well, that's sick.
yeah, but one of them was you get to go into certain monuments for like free or for relatively cheap. And he being the kind Irishman that he was, he said, "Oh yeah, you just fucking he handed us this pass saying that my dad was in the Irish military, so that we could get in for free. And he's like, "Oh yeah, just hand them this and they'll wave you on. They won't even fucking say anything to you." And then
The one time they actually do ask about it.
yeah, we we go there, and at the front desk, my dad hands the card, and then the guy's like, "Oh, so you're part of the military?" And then he says, "Are you gonna? Do you think you'll enjoy going to see the Giant's Causeway? Have you been here before?" And then my dad like just kind of put on the spot to do an Irish accent. He's like, "Die." Die. And then he after that
Fuck.
he says, so what part of Ireland are you from? And then my dad just on the spot again, he's like, "Oh, fucking Northern Ireland." as in to say like Northern Ireland. And then he's like bobbing his head up and down, looking at us for approval, and then the guy behind the counter's like, yeah, okay, and then he hands the card back and he says, yeah, go on through. And we didn't take note of this until like maybe 10 minutes later, but I look at my mom's coat and it's a Root Canada coat, like Roots, the Canada brand, and then I look at my brother's t-shirt and it's a giant fucking maple leaf. And I was like, oh my god.
No.
Good job. Speaking of accents, that reminds me, I've been playing board games recently. Playing, because playing with them, playing some Monopoly. That was infuriating.
Fucking Norman wants me to download Brawlhalla.
Yeah, that one's pretty enjoyable. But we were playing some tabletop, doing some board games, and we played some Uno, made everyone really mad, played some other board games, all that. I went to go eat for a bit, and when I come back, they instantly change it to a table just covered in like anime characters in swimsuits and lingerie with like cards that are anime characters. Like, all right, name them all. I'm like, okay. So I'm going through this entire deck of anime girl cards and looking around the table. I'm like, well, this one's Saber from Fate. This one's from some old anime. This one's from To Love Ru. I wound up only being able to name like half of them because a lot of them are just like generic anime shit. And then we played a little game called Fun Employed.
No.
You ever heard of that one?
I don't think so.
It's a simple game where someone is kind of it and they're the interviewer, and they draw a card to see what a job you are interviewing for. This can be anything from something simple like a nanny or a mechanic to something weird like a porn star or anything else. And the other people have to give their pitch for why you should hire them, but they have to employ 3 things as drawn from a deck. And this can also be anything really weird. So, this is where my earlier quote came in. One of them was a porn star, and one of the guys had drawn some stuff. It's like tasteless and night terrors. And he drew night terrors twice. And so he sits there, he's like, hey, I'm Tyrone. They say my cum is tasteless, so the girls just slurp it down. And he sits there, he's like, they call my cock and balls the night terror because I fuck so good. I give the girls night terrors.
Was that is that cool?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
I figured.
Oh, it
That'd be
was
such a fucking cool thing to say.
It was so fucking good, and there was one bit that was fucking hilarious. It was a televangelist. Do you know what a televangelist is?
No.
Vigilante of G's.
No. You're both wrong.
I didn't say anything.
I know. You're wrong by default. It's a preacher on television. Like those preachers that go on television. And
Oh,
like,
I
whoa.
love memes like that where it's just fucking trolling.
Goes and he gets some stuff like a mace, field experience, and a sports car, and he said like, I gotta pay for my sports car, brother. You gotta hire me. I got all that. I get some I forget what exactly I get. I got like growing room to grow or whatever and all that. So I sit there, I'm like hiding myself. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm in the mood. All right, I got it. Then after a second delay, brothers! For too long has our flock been small, and we have room to grow. And for a solid 5 minutes, I'm just yelling about God on TV.
Did you at least win?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's another one that was good. It was a barista, which is the guys who serve like coffee and shit or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what to do, but I got my cards. I forget what all of them were, but one of them was katana. I didn't know how to incorporate that, so I'm like, all right, I'm getting it.
I'm a katana-wielding barista.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, I gotta get into character. I'm like, I got a katana, I'm an Asian. All right, I got this. Second delay. You want the beans?
You want fucking bean?
And I just go like that for a while. Oh, it was good.
That's pretty good.
It was a good time.
You know what's crazy?
Me?
All of us. But
Yeah?
back in grade 8, when I was graduating public school,
The old
My-
days.
Huh?
The old days.
yeah, those very old days, my teacher at the end of every year, she did this for like every single grade, but she said, "Okay, I am going to guess what you are going to do in the future."
Oh, no.
And she went around the room and she was telling everybody like what they were gonna do. And you know what she told me?
What?
She said I would be doing something with my voice. And here we are.
And here we are.
And I was like, no, I'll never do anything with my fucking stupid voice. And now I'm doing a podcast. And that's like whack. I didn't even think about that until I found my old yearbook.
She planted the seed.
She planted the yeet.
Yeet. That reminds me. I was recently at my grandmother's funeral, but
Pleasant topic.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was fine. It was a small gathering, and my mother and her brother, grandmother's sons, they read some poetry because apparently there were poems. I'm not sure if my mom wrote one, but the one my uncle wrote he didn't write it, but he found it. He read it off because she really liked it. And
Right.
I was talking to my other mom on while we were leaving, and she's like, "So you gonna write any poetry for my funeral?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, but you can't hear it until you're dead."
If my funeral does not have anything to do with Warhammer, I will be disappointed in everybody I know.
I remember I was talking. It was really funny because there were some weird things about it because my grandmother, she had already set up all of her funeral arrangements before she died, but
That's a pretty big thing. Where like
yeah, it makes it a lot easier
Yeah.
on everyone. But the way she had it, she was cremated and she wanted her ashes buried next to her mother. And the thing is, because of that, she actually doesn't have a tombstone.
Huh.
And so the only way to find her is to go to find her mother's grave, which is the first time I've ever seen it. So that was pretty interesting. I'm like, it's cost effective, but I don't know, it's strange. It's a strange way to do it. But when I was also talking to my mom about that, she's like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the font on that tombstone. I'm like, because my mom has this weird thing about fonts, and for some, like, she collects fonts. She will identify fonts in the wild, and it's really
in the
weird.
wild.
Oh yeah, she'll see random fonts that's like, oh, I know that font, or that's a font derivative of a certain other font that you might not notice a difference, but it's in the T's. And it's really, she is genuinely that weird about
In
it.
the T's.
Yeah, because sometimes it's only like a single letter that's different between fonts. But
I would like to be adamant about something like that at some point in my life.
just be like so knowledgeable you can know these small differences.
I want to have my ashes thrown at people in the street, and then, and then somebody will be like, pranked!
When we were talking about this, I'm sitting there like, well, I'll tell you what, if you don't arrange anything before you die, after you die, I'll get you a nice tombstone with the Star Trek font on it. And she's like, bro, that'd be sick. Because there were a lot of very fancy looking tombstones there. I'm like, you could probably get a personalized tombstone with like an Enterprise on it, with a Star Trek font. It'd be pretty fucking lit.
I've seen some where like kids got Minecraft on theirs.
Dirt blocks. You said you weren't gonna make a dirt house, but I see the grass.
You got that green top, boy.
But yeah, that was an interesting discussion.
What do you think those kids from public school that always pretended to be cats under their table are doing these days? I mean, we got one of them here. Hello, Tyler.
I got something to show you guys after this.
I don't want to
Oh,
see
no.
your dick.
I haven't seen that in years.
He needs someone else to verify it's still there.
I gotta make sure it's not legally dead. But oh my god, I think I found this video just by perusing an Instagram page. I think he sent me a video that was from that page. And oh my fucking god, I saw the
Was it that like that ponytail girl, and she was like,
yes.
That, oh my god.
I want to fucking kill myself after I see it. Because in my mind, I know people who would fucking do this. A prime example, the kind of shit Eric and I talk about, would probably do this.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, you know how fucking cringy it fucking is now.
Avoid saying her name so I don't have to bleep it out, but I had a locker next to this girl in high school. They have more experience with her.
Yeah, we had her in elementary.
She was nice. There was just strange.
It's weird. It's because I don't know. The weird thing was that in elementary, it was always she was very finicky about a lot of things and weird about some things. But you figure it's one of those things you grow out of it once you reach high school, and she didn't. But
I had another girl like that in public school, where I have no idea where she is now, but I know she was still in grade 2 when I was in grade 7.
Oof. Like held back, or was she just that young?
She was held back.
Oh, okay.
And, like, I remember she would regularly shit herself.
Oh.
But, like, there wasn't... They said that there wasn't anything, like, mentally quite wrong with her, other than she just had, like, some kind of complex about her. It was strange. A lot of people bullied her. I just kind of tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
Passive observer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that does also that reminds me of I told you guys this, but I didn't tell it on the podcast. If I can figure out how to fucking speak. Before the funeral that I went to, we had the reception thing. More family comes by and they say, "Oh, my condolences for your loss," all that, and I didn't know fucking anyone there. So there's just a bunch of people I don't really know on my on my mom's side. I have 2 mothers. I have another story to tell on that. That was pretty funny, but there's one of them was like very upfront and active. She's walking around drinking a Monster, multicolored hair, and I'm like,
"Woo, lad!"
Yeah, she's
That's the
she
female
says
Kyle.
She says a lot of things very fast and does not think about what she is saying to who. So she's just talking about stuff, and I'm barely following what she's saying. She walks up to my trans mother, and is like, "I still don't know what I should be calling him," and I'm like, "Boy, please."
You stop that, Tyler.
And it was, I can just see the discomfort on my mother through her sunglasses. She's just like, "Stop talking." And it was funny because my mother's uncle, who was like way older than this person, was more respectful of this very modern concept than this person who's like technically not that much older than I am. And it was just this weird ordeal. But another family fun thing. I was at a dentist recently, and
yes, the family trip to the dentist.
Yes, family. We were all there.
A grandiose occasion of flossing.
Yeah. Just floss in unison.
My shiny teeth in me.
Shiny teeth. I was at the dentist alone, because I'm always alone. But I was at the dentist, and I am still technically I'm still under the effects of my parents' insurance from their workplaces to cover a lot of the cost of that. And yes, fucking diagrams with my fingers. But they start asking about it, and they're like, so does your mother work for this place? I'm like,
Steve Jobs.
It was a very general statement. I'm just not gonna say what, but I'm like, well, I mean, one of my parents does. Yes. It's like, okay, but does your mother work for this place? I'm like, I have 2 mothers, thank you. Like, oh, okay then. It's like, thanks.
You alright, Eric?
I'm existing
You call me weird.
perpetually.
You just got that you got that crackhead face.
Crackhead.
It's heroin games.
Yeah. You guys, I don't take taxis very often.
Oh, apparently we do.
The fuck did you just say to me?
I just said we do. Not you, we.
You guys ever get in deep conversation with your taxi drivers?
I can't even fucking hear them.
I struck a chord with Tyler.
Yeah, high note.
I don't know if we ever told this story on the podcast, but I think it was Kyle and I going home one day in a taxi and we were drunk or something. And I think we made a stop at the corner store because I was fucking hungry or thirsty or something. And our taxi driver was the most racist guy ever. As we're walking out to get back into the taxi to go home, he's just looking at the front of the store. There was 2 black guys and a white chick in the middle. And all you hear the fucking taxi driver's like, she a fucking night rider. She's fucking them I'm not gonna say
Bad words.
Yes. Just the rest of the ride home's like, after we leave, she going back to their place, they're all having fucking sex, you know that, right? I was like, bro, fucking, just shut the fuck up already.
I don't take taxis very often.
Yeah, because the last time you took one, you left a bottle of Grey Goose in it.
I did.
Is that when we left Connors?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I love mentioning Uber to them.
Oh.
It's like breaking a seal on a floodgate or just breaking a hole in a dam, because as soon as you mention Uber, they are off the rails and furious. Because I'll be drunk at like 3 a.m. I'll be coming home from a party or a bar, and I just kind of cock my head over. It's like, "How you doing, man?" He's like, "Oh, I'm okay. What do you think about Uber?" And he's like, Don't even get me fucking started on fucking Uber."
He just starts violently fucking shaking.
I happened to notice that wasn't a black accent.
I'm not good at accents.
Neither am I.
But it's just hilarious just mentioning Uber. It's just all like it's a job to them. They're just kind of like, they just have to deadpan go through it. They want to be home, but as soon as you mention something they hate, it's like just the cracks, they appear all over them. Their fake facade
shatter.
breaks.
It's like
and
one of those boomer comics.
And then the real person comes out. They're like, "Man, I got fucking kids to feed, and Uber's coming around here."
That's like how we saw the true side to our taxi guy.
Every taxi has a dark side, and it's always the driver.
You know that guy got his fucking wife stolen by a fucking black guy or something. There has to be something behind that rage.
Fucking Tyrone came by.
Speaking of wives, yesterday was Valentine's Day. Technically speaking, when it gets updated or uploaded.
What?
I thought Valentine's Day was supposed to be like the 14th.
Yeah, when it gets uploaded.
Oh shit. Fuck, time is in flux!
Yeah,
Friday.
Valentine's Day was yesterday. How did you spend it with your waifu?
The pillow didn't have a hole in
What?
it. Fucking body pillows, that's my joke.
Friend zoned again.
I'm alone. That's all I have to say about Valentine's Day. I am alone. How about you boys? You seem to get all the poon.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know.
I talked to a girl for like a week and I get fucking ghosted.
And you didn't even know that her name was a pun.
Kitty Claus. You know what? He's doing better than I am. I don't even talk to real women.
Honestly, you're
Me
such
neither,
a
man.
fucking hassle.
I took my body pillow to McDonald's and we got a McChicken meal. And let's just say we brought it into the bedroom.
Fuck the McChicken.
Stop!
Okay, this is the last time I will do this. This is the last censorship episode. I royally decree we will not say we will not say or
Oh, why not?
we will not say
Oh, come on! At least give us
everything else is fine.
You know what? I'm just gonna make it
Except
hard
for
for you.
no, like
Stop!
you didn't say those.
I said, except for other really specific racial terms.
We both know Eric's either gonna actually go through all this and mute the words, or just fucking delete
He's
it
gonna turn it
overall.
all into chaos tongue. We're already consumed by chaos.
God, you know, I'm already gonna hate myself because I said I wasn't gonna use this chair, and then it's gonna be like creak, 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 creak throughout the whole episode like this one. Oh, it won't do it now.
We're both creaky.
Dickhead.
We're good podcasters.
Okay. It's time for Kyle's movie review where he hasn't seen it. Okay,
Oh
Kyle,
boy, I
need
love
you.
this show.
I need you to give a dedicated summary of all of Avengers, every single movie,
Well, that's
starting from Hulk,
from Hulk.
and then going from
Oh wait.
Captain America, and then to Iron Man from then on.
All right.
Boy,
What?
the only canon Hulk is the Incredible Hulk, not
Shut
the
the fuck up, nerd. Kyle.
All right. So the Hulk, starting with the big green goober. It was a very good movie. I really liked where he went. Arr! It was very thrilling, and
And
I
then
thought
he punched Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, he punched Hillary Clinton. That's why Marvel is not political, because Hillary Clinton was just a villain, right? And then he voted
The
Bernie.
abomination was illegal.
So yeah, I thought that was really good. It was also really great when Captain America in the second movie shook hands with Trump and told him, "I will not allow you anywhere near a peach." I thought the third sequel was a little
Iron Man?
underdone, yeah. But you know what? I thought they really brought it back when
I really
all of them came together
liked
for
it when they
years.
threw C4 at Mr. Stark, and then all the spaghetti came out of his stomach.
Yeah, he lost all his spaghetti because he keeps it in his suit, right? But this is where we need to get a little more detailed because Marvel is a very intricate series, and once they get together in the Avengers, you know, the plot, you might get lost in the plot. So here's a...
Don't forget Thor as well.
Yeah, well, no one cares about Thor. He's a fucking frat boy.
Okay, yeah, fair.
So in the Marvel, they all come together. And
Uncle Marvel.
Uncle Marvel says, "All right, boys, it's time to fight the enemy."
When you say
Enemy
Uncle
came
Marvel,
by.
do you mean Samuel L. Jackson eye patch?
Yes, that
Okay.
is Uncle Marvel. His name is Uncle Marvel, and he has no relation to Captain Marvel.
What about Can't Man? Mom said no.
He found poop sock.
Okay.
What the fuck?
So they all got together and they flew in the jet of Uncle Marvel, and he's like, "Herg, we gotta go fight the bad." And they went and fought the bad. Now
They fought Loki.
Yeah, he was the bad because he is the bad god. You may think, well, that's not accurate. He was not always a bad god. He's just a trickster. Shut up, you're wrong. He's the bad god.
Okay.
No one cares about Thor though. He probably like dinked him with his hammer and then got his dick kicked.
Tyler, every single like red and purple vein in his dick is throbbing, and he's ready to choke Kyle with it.
Yeah, so the Marvels, they did pretty well, and then came the sequel, The Spider-Verse. That's where
My
Spider-Man
fucking
met
God.
with Spider-Man, and also Pig
Not
Spider-Man
related to
as
Marvel
well.
at all.
You see, this is a little known fact, right? Peter Porker, the Pig Spider-Man.
Parkus?
Yes, it's a crossover from The Simpsons.
Okay.
Because remember Spider-Pig? He was a very important part of that movie.
Yes, very important, very
Yes.
big part. Okay.
They needed that animated bit in there. It was, despite the entire movie was animated. It was
Yeah.
actually real people, but they were animated.
Don't forget about all of what's his name? Other Spider-Man, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, where it was
Spider-Man, yes.
Yes, Spider-Man,
Yeah,
but he
Man of
was
Spiders.
he was the one that was emo.
Yeah, I can't say that because we're censoring this now.
Except for Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Garfield.
Yeah.
So Garfield Man was there. Then they joined. They joined the Avengers to fight the Purple Man, and Purple Man said, "I am going to get rid of all thoughts." And then he snapped his finger, and the thoughts disappeared. And there was this little thought. You see, you might think this was a controversial point in the movie because they said she's a child. She can't be a thought.
You're
she was a
forgetting
blooming thought.
completely about Guardians of the Galaxy.
They defended the galaxy. The end.
No, what about the guy that was from Walking Dead? He was whistling and he shot arrows at people. What about him? You forgot about Blue Man.
Yeah,
The Blue Man Group.
He went
Except for
off
one
to
of-
found music.
He went off to found music and then he died.
Yeah, his mohawk wasn't fly enough. He was not fly for a blue guy.
You're forgetting completely about Robot Bad Guy from
Wally?
other Avengers. Yeah, Wally. Wally was in second Avengers
Look,
movie.
we don't talk about that because he was way better in his own standalone movie.
And
all
they
right?
they grabbed him by the head and he was like, "Oh!"
yeah,
And they showed him every single internet meme and then his head
but
exploded.
The thing is, he came back in the final movie to turn Thanos into a cube. That's why Thanos is in Minecraft.
Oh, so Thanos became Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if we're spoiling the movie.
I
for you.
understand completely.
But Captain America went back.
But what
in
about
time.
the Cube? You remember the Cube, that one movie?
Yeah, from Star Trek.
Yeah, the Cube.
Yeah.
He becomes the Borg. That's where the robot guy comes from.
Yeah, it's cyclical, you see. Time travel makes it cyclical, so the Avengers formed the Avengers.
Kyle, you're forgetting completely about Dr. Unusual.
Dr. Weirdo?
Yeah.
That's me!
And
so...
he cascades into he gets in a car crash and his car flips over like 48,000
Yeah,
times.
and he casts a spell to make Thor less stupid, but
And then
he
bald
was
lady
stupid.
grabs him by the head and he's got like,
Yeah, and then the Hulk, I think the Hulk fucked
the
that one
Incredible
lady.
Sulk. Yeah, he fucked Iron Man.
Yeah, fucked Iron Man, the lady.
Did you know that Pepper Potts, she sells crack?
Who the fuck is Pepper Potts?
Iron Man's wife.
Oh, okay.
She's the snake oil salesman. JonTron yelled at her in public.
Yeah.
He grabbed her by the head and was like, "Ah!"
JonTron was like the secondary antagonist. He the
JonTron
great
was
Nazi.
actually Iron Man.
Yeah. Nazi the Iron Man. from the famous Superman comic, Red Sun.
He was Red Skull in Captain America First Soldier.
Yeah.
We're forgetting completely about Bucky Larson, born to be a
fuck,
star.
Bucky the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, Bucky Larson, born to be a star. In the third movie,
Stop!
in the third movie, he fell off a train, and then Captain America was like, "Fart in my mouth," and waved a dildo in his face.
Yeah, that's why he wears the suit or the mask without.
Yeah,
the
he
mouth.
jerked off so much he had to rip his arm off and get
Yeah.
a metal one.
And then he became a super soldier. He's an Iron Warrior now.
Yeah, he's an Iron Man.
Yeah.
He's also Iron Man too.
So then they punched Thanos in the dick, and then they did it again, and then the movie ended.
Was Danny Trejo ever in the series?
No, but Danny Phantom was.
Okay.
Please just stop.
Overall,
No.
I think my final rating for the series as a whole, I think it's about a 5 out of 10. It needed more Spider-Pig.
Yeah, definitely more Spider-Pig. I think it also needs more Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I really like the part where she wasn't in it.
I'll agree with you there. I wish that as well.
Yeah, so Marvel fix your shit. We'll see you next time.
Alright, we would like to clarify, I've actually never seen a single Avengers movie.
Bro, what the fuck is the Avengers?
I literally don't even know what superheroes are. By the way, I'm taking a piss.
Okay. So, Tyler.
I've never wanted to kill two people in my life.
2 more people? Tyler, who else have you killed?
Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying about it. Did you kill the man who gave us these drinks?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
What's your thought on the Avengers? I want to strangle you so bad right now.
This just in, Tyler is a mega fan of the Avengers. He is an Avenger. Tyler is the Hulk.
you and Eric wouldn't get this, but I'm the fucking gay Hulk.
You're right, I don't get it. I presume it's the Hulk, but gay.
I'll show you after this.
Okay.
It's a funny meme.
I know there was like a red Hulk and a gray Hulk.
There's a lot of Hulks.
There are a lot of Hulks. Why is there so many Hulks?
There's She-Hulk, Hulk, Red Hulk, his son.
There is a she everything. She Batman.
That was just Batgirl. Alright.
She Batman. She Iron Man.
She Iron Man.
Sharia law. Yeah, you don't remember that Avengers movie, Sharia?
No.
It was set in Syria. Because they needed to call in Captain America against the great Captain Sharia for World War III. You don't look pleased.
I am not pleased at all. You guys are chatting so much shit.
I think it was a pretty comprehensive recollection of the movie.
Honestly, when you guys got actual details correct, I was like, wow.
You are surprised that I am the most literate in media?
No.
So you know I'm the most literate in media. Welcome back.
Whoa!
Welcome back. What have we got on the chopping block today?
The chopping cock.
Yeah, chop cocks with rock.
Never talk about the Avengers again.
So welcome to the Avengers podcast.
Alright. We all like Comey-san.
Yeah.
Who's that?
The one who cannot communicate.
Okay, Tyler. Yeah.
That doesn't help me.
She got that big eyes and goes, whoa!
So, you see,
I'm seeing.
I'm about to say something very controversial.
Well, we never say those things, ever.
No. I, not too long ago, just went through all the words we can't say. But everybody is very pressing to get a Comey Can't Communicate anime.
Uh-huh.
But
But
here's the thing. It would not transfer over to an anime very well.
I don't think so.
Do you know why?
Because it uses too much unspoken stuff that you don't really find in anime.
Exactly!
Because Comey Can't Communicate, for the uninitiated, and also Tyler, the uninitiated, Comey Can't Communicate is a series about a lady who looks very beautiful and lovely, and everyone's like, wow, Comey, you're the greatest! But she has no idea how to literally do fucking anything in public, so she just stands there and doesn't know what to do, and only the main character knows how to read the room enough to tell that she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. And it's one of those series that will have her, like, stand there wide-eyed and blank-faced, and it'll have, like, a little box just saying, like, literally has no idea what's fucking going on, and it just doesn't translate well to an anime.
It don't, and it won't.
It won't.
And you can pull this up years later after they come out with the masterfully crafted Comey Can't Communicate anime, and it's like the best thing that's ever graced this earth. And you can call us names, you can call us stupid, you can grab us by the ankles and throw bricks at us and shit. But you cannot take our freedom to say these things.
The freedom to say the N-word.
You guys make me sad.
You know how you fix that?
How? I'm gonna take my sock off and throw it at you. You think I won't?
Oh, I know you will.
You think you're safe?
No.
You think you're fucking safe?
I'm never safe with you around.
Bitch.
Have the Coke, please.
The conch.
What do we say?
Please.
Good.
I said please.
I am sad you didn't say
This is gonna take so fucking long to edit.
I know, it's great. Good stuff. Fuck, I have no train of thought anymore.
Let me look up something stupid.
Oh
Let me
yeah.
fix that.
Ah, yes, abuse.
Oh, that felt so good.
Oi!
Oi, mate.
I just get fucking bonked in this guy. I get fucking conk bonked.
After that whole fucking adventure thing, man, oh, that felt great. Try to throw my drink. Frick.
This is getting violent.
Tyler just assaulted me.
Been trying to read more manga lately. Lots of samurai manga for some reason.
Samurai manga.
Yeah, samurai manga.
I really want you to make a top knot, Kyle.
No.
Yes.
I think
No.
it would be nice.
How much?
No.
How much?
I have
No.
another $10 in my pocket.
That's not enough. You people are vile creatures. of
What
the
do you
night.
mean, you people?
You people in
Meet
this
them.
room. This episode is called Censored.
Yep.
There is no thumbnail. It's just black and it says Censored.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Waluigi.
Did they ever continue Drifter?
No.
Yeah. I have the 6th volume sitting around waiting to read that one.
What's happened up to?
I don't know. They fucking beat the shit out of old people.
Okay.
Sounds about
Okay, Tyler. It is Star Wars Episode 1 all the way to Star Wars Episode 9 time. Give us a synopsis.
Oh no, I haven't
Give
watched
us
the
the
new ones.
You saw what happened earlier. You can do it.
The first one was all about
Trade deals. Democratic trade deals.
Trade trials.
They were dealing spices to the sand
The
people.
spice must flow.
They were going out there and they were like, "Hey, you fucking pod racing piece of shit. Here's some credits." Credits will not do.
And then he said, McClunky!
No, that's later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's Tatooine Part 2.
Yes.
That's Tatooine.
That's Tatooine.
Actually, that's Tatooine Part 3 because Anakin goes back and kills sand people
With the Planikin.
because he's racist.
Yes.
he killed them saying
We are the knights who say
Ha. Oh. Okay. Episode 2 time. The Red Menace. Episode 1 still.
That's racist.
Red Menace.
The Phantom Menace.
Horny Red Menace.
Horny, is he red with black or black with red?
Both.
black with red.
Damn, that's racist.
He stabs Liam Neeson. He's like,
He stabbed Qui-Got's Jinn.
he stabs Liam Neeson, and then Liam Neeson's like, I want to fucking hit a black bastard outside with a fucking.
When my frying pan goes tunk.
Liam Neeson was actually racist before. Actually, maybe.
Then he became a ghost.
Yeah, he became a ghost because he got stabbed in the stomach by a red menace.
Yes.
He was also a black menace.
Yes. All. Never mind.
He was Dennis the Menace. But and the episode 2, Anakin's like, I'm a fucking real boy, and then
The council declares you are stupid. What?
I don't even fucking remember what happens in episode 2 until the very end.
The guy, if I Grievous, he's like,
like,
hello there.
That's episode 3.
What?
But they cut holes in the glass, and then Anakin's like, Padme, my wife.
My wife.
And then they put big old bugs in instead of just fucking shooting her like a dumbass, stupid idiot.
Yeah, bugs.
And then they go to
Was
Camino.
that episode 2?
Yes, and then they go to Camino, and then the big necked people are like, ah, clones.
They're like, we have one man, but now he is two.
Whoa. And then Django Fett, he's like,
The Django Fett.
yeah, Django Unchained, he's like, oh.
Then he done got his head rolled and fucking
Yeah.
Killed
his
by the
kid
butler.
Boba T was like,
Yeah, Dr. Avenger, he
Boba T.
he says badass motherfucker, and then cuts his head off with a purple stick, and then fast forward like maybe 35 years, and then a big dunkle old man is like, unlimited memes, and then he shoots him out of the sky.
He's like, I am the Senate.
He's like, I am the Bennett.
I am Bennett.
I am Jeffrey Dahmer.
I am Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberhammer.
Yeah, no one knows that the Emperor was actually played by Benedict Cumberhammer.
Benedict Cumberbatch actually plays every single person except for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, no one plays Doctor Strange.
Episode 3 ends with good blue man and then bad blue man.
I have the low ground.
Yeah, I have every ground, and then
I own the floor.
I am the ground.
Uncle Jumpius jumps in the air, and then he gets his legs bitten off.
He failed the floor is lava.
Yeah, he failed the floor is lava, and then Uncle Emperor is like,
I'm sorry, your arms are stupid. And he's like, yeah.
And then he gets out of his armchair, and he's like, I'm an incel.
His dick was lost in the
And
fire.
then episode 4 happens, and then for some reason the quality of the video gets drastically downputted, and
I
then
wonder why.
and then Princess Leia gets shot out of the sky, and she's like, ah!
Yeah.
She gets grabbed by father and then thrown into a jail
Darth Daddy
cell.
comes and he's like,
Darth Daddy
go to
comes.
your room.
And then
she's like, nah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Then they fell into a pit of garbage, but they were dressed in white, so that was grody.
Yeah, and the big eyeball man, that was actually Tyler. Tyler played him.
Yeah. Tyler was the garbage pit monster. That's just his home. And he was like, and then they crushed him.
He makes a very small appearance. He goes,
yeah. Then they came and they're like, I am your brother, but I don't know that. And then
then they awkwardly make out in the next movie after blonde Star Wars man gets shoved inside of a big fucking cum jar. Yeah, he gets shoved in a big cum jar that he rode around on for a little bit on Cold Planet.
He rolled on it like a barrel.
Yeah, it was pretty funny until he died.
It was pretty good, until it shattered and got cum on him.
And then he made out with his sister, and then everybody forgot about that for a little while. But
then his hand got he became.
I still remember George Lucas.
Who the fuck is George? Curious George?
Yeah, Curious George made Star Wars.
George Shrinks?
Yeah, George Shrinks made Star Wars.
Everyone has scars.
Everyone has scars. It's just sometimes they aren't seen.
Yeah.
Depression quote: jump off bridge. Haha.
And then the final movie comes and they die.
No, they made like three other ones.
No one cares about those ones. They came back and then they died.
I am
titty milk.
I am Stormtrooper. I get blood on my face and I say, ugh.
He goes, ugh, that's got tetanus.
Tetanus.
Tittiness.
Palpatine comes back.
Yeah, Palpatine comes back and he says the N-word like 3 times.
Yeah, like us.
No, like you guys.
You said it.
Because it needed to be said to
Actually,
be blurred.
You want to hear a fun fact that you probably didn't think about?
I literally don't think about anything, but continue.
All right. Remember the ending of episode 6 where you see the ghosts of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader and
Anakin?
Yodel?
That is Darth Vader, you nerd.
Yogurt?
Yeah, I guess yogurt. Have you ever considered that because the prequels happened, they changed that ghost to be young Anakin, but way back in the day before those movies were a thing, they
It was
had
just some fucking dude.
It was the dude who actually was in the Darth Vader suit, and people won't see that anymore. That is lost to history.
He still does the voice, though.
Actually,
James Earl Jones.
A different dude does the voice.
What?
The guy in the suit and the guy who does the voice are different, I think.
Well, yeah, before, but... Oh, yeah, well... The guy that does the suit now is the same guy that was Anakin in the old ones.
What?
Yeah, well, I think that's true.
I don't think that's true, but I don't know.
I don't know about Star Wars
I don't know what
anymore.
facts are.
All I know is Warhammer.
Yeah, which is like Star Wars, but better.
Ah, yes. Hello, fandom. We, too, like getting shit on.
Get cultured, nerds!
Speaking of Warhammer, I read the first Horus Heresy book.
The Horus Heresy.
And I gotta say...
The hair just starts crying.
It hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts.
Horus is a good boy.
Yeah, Horus was a good boy. I trusted him. I liked him. But then Erebus, that fucking dickhead.
You know, I was...
It only takes one bad guy to ruin everything for everyone.
It really does, Tyler.
What?
I was talking to one dude in a server who was in a constant RP of a Space Marine, and I considered mentioning something like, yeah, I know a guy who's also into Warhammer, but then I might have to explain that you are an Iron Warrior, son of Perturabo, and that might not go over well because he is a son of Dorn.
I don't even know what faction I like the most anymore. I like all of them in different aspects.
You're pretty wild.
I'm starting to lean more towards Angron just because I know his backstory more, and it's fucking sad.
He's depressing.
Yeah.
We all have depression in this household.
We all have fucking sad. Okay, Tyler, summarize all of Warhammer. You got 2 minutes. Your face says it all.
Man, take over universe. Man, like, hey, I gotta sit in chair, I'm tired. He make all these sons. All sons go, ah! Now they all fight and all of it's war. Hence the name Warhammer.
You know what? That's not even that bad.
You did it. You've learned.
You hit the nail right on the head. You know what my favorite thing to do after every podcast is just red pill Tyler with fucking Warhammer.
That really is how it goes every time.
What?
After the podcast, we sit here and we ridicule you on fucking Warhammer.
And we make you sad, and you're like, man, like...
I want Pappy Emperor back.
I want the Emperor back. Why doesn't he just stand up out of the chair? And then we're like, he can't stand up out of the chair. He's fucking dead.
He needs to stand up already, man.
That actually reminds me of an image I saw that I sent in on Discord, but it was a massive, like, well-decorated Space Marine cosplay, and he's sitting there with his towering over a stormtrooper with his hand on the back of his head, and it just says, "Choose your Emperor wisely." Good stuff.
Indeed. My workout goal is to be able to cosplay Karn the Betrayer, meaning that I need to work out one arm.
Buff arm.
Yeah, one super buff arm.
Become Karn the Coomer. Coom the Betrayer.
Coom the Betrayer. He has a separate throne right beside Korn's throne, filled with cum jars.
Come for the cum throne.
Jizz for the jizz god.
Imagine making a fucking... Well, I guess it's just in a Slanesh.
Yeah.
How many cum jars do you think Slanesh has?
Too many.
Too many.
You know how Slanesh was born?
Fucking orgies.
Yeah,
Eldar orgies.
He was created by Eldar after they had so many orgies.
What?
That's real lore.
That's real lore.
Oh, you were like, oh, we have so much sex, let's... Hi, welcome.
They didn't do it on purpose, but yeah. Warhammer's fun.
It is. But there is a lack of Warhammers. Because he uses a sword.
You only need one, and it's Vulcans.
Fair.
Actually, that's good. I actually have a good question. Why is it called Warhammer? Is there a specific reason behind it?
Not really.
I mean, initially...
I don't really think so.
Initially, Warhammer was just fantasy. I presume they just call it that because it's a lot of war. And hey, Warhammer, that's fantasy.
It rolls off the tongue.
Rolls off the skulls.
No. It kind of bashes into them.
I mean, if you're gonna be pedantic about it.
Pedantic. Don't patronize me. Just because I'm stupid.
Past the jag.
How many minutes?
Hour and 6.
Yeah.
Oh.
We haven't even been going that long.
Nice.
Why does... Oh, because it's honey. I get it.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna ask, why does Jack's got a fucking bee on it?
Okay.
Because it's honey. Tennessee honey.
Hornet girls or bee girls?
Hornets are just malicious.
But I like a strong woman.
I'd like a strong woman so long as she
Who would
doesn't
say it'd be a
stab me.
strong woman?
Huh?
Who would say a hornet girl would be a strong woman?
Aggressive.
It doesn't necessarily mean strong. A little pipsqueak could be aggressive. Bitch.
Okay.
You know, Tyler has a fair point.
But you know what? I'll counter all your points right now. You got a BGF, Bumblebee. She fluffy.
She fluff.
She fluffy.
So yeah, B girl GF.
Yeah, but
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 B butt.
yes. I will counter everybody else's argument and say they are not real, and we are fools for fucking...
Well, I'm a fool with a dream. You know who else had a dream? Martin Luther King Jr.
We have said the N-word far too much times.
I was gonna go for the classic, but I was like, I can't say that after you said
What's
after we invoke his most hollowed of name?
You know, there was a time I thought we was good people.
When?
When this podcast started. 3 cheers for bad people.
It's been a while since I've done a toast to someone. I think I'm relatively drunk enough to do a toast.
Who shall we toast?
Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe.
To
The
good old
legend.
Kobe.
To
the
Kobe.
man, the myth, the
The
legend.
fucking meme.
And that is all we will say about Kobe.
What?
You just punched the air in Kobe's name.
Yes.
You took Kobe's name in vain? No.
Tyler, don't you know we are a very progressive household here? We don't do anything offensive ever. You gotta watch yourself.
Oh my god. Tyler.
I'm not even saying anything.
It doesn't fucking...
It's the implications.
Ah.
I you say Nigeria.
What about Niger?
Stop!
Nigel Thornberry.
Smashing.
Smashing. Okay. Everybody do a
The flop.
You know what I did a while ago?
The flop?
No. Me and a friend, when the gentleman that I got the edibles off of, we watched every single ASDF movie from start to finish, and we were like, why did we even like these when we were a kid? Like, we would watch these back to back. We would start the series from the beginning, and then we would end it up to that point, and then we would watch it over again. And then
ASDF was a weird little bit of history.
And then we liked it so much that we did that like every time we hung out. And then my friend was like, I am a stegosaurus for like 5 years. And then we just stopped watching it. And then we were like, yo, you remember ASDF movie? Like, he downloaded Outlast 2, and we played Outlast 2, and we were laughing at it for a while because scary games are funny when
had
you're
a
playing
penis
with
in it?
friends. Yeah, big floppy penis.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yo, let's watch ASDF movie. And I was like, yeah, I remember that shit. And then we watched it, and I was like, I fucking hate this. This isn't funny anymore to me.
Simpler times they were.
What is the dumbest thing that you used to laugh at?
Firecrackers in people's assholes.
That's still pretty funny. Mainly because I just remember that one where a guy, he put a firecracker under a can, and then he squatted over the can, and then it blew up and it shot up and it hit him in the nutsack, and then he walked like Michael Jackson, and then it played Billie Jean is not my love, she's just a girl.
I mean, there are a number of like old like Let's players I used to laugh at that nowadays would just be like, why?
I used to watch Merc Music religiously, where like he had a bunch of funny ad libs and stuff, and that's what I watched it for. It was like, bye, have a beautiful time,
Bro, Ray William Johnson. Fucking orphan tears.
Ray William Johnson was something that I blocked from my memory for the longest time. Like, there's a solid 5 years out of my life after watching him that I just don't remember him being in. But I still watched him regularly during that time, and everybody else around me watched it too. Tyler just showed me his nipple. Tyler, what's your favorite Ray William Johnson moment? Was it when he said the N-word and then hit a baby?
No, that was just Tyler.
Honestly,
Of course I know him. I am him.
when you had like special guests, like Some Equals 3, you had Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy.
He had Gabriel Iglesias on.
He had him on multiple times.
Several, yeah.
That's how I knew who fucking Gabriel Iglesias was. And I remember seeing billboards, I'm like, oh shit!
He also had like Jay Muse. He's another comedian. He's had like a bunch of random people that you wouldn't think, like some famous actors and stuff like that.
Early YouTube was fucking weird.
Yeah. Like, I'm struggling to even think of, like, a lot of the stuff that I used to watch. Like, one of the earliest animations I watched was, like, all of the, Oni cartoon stuff. And I watched that with the same friend that, showed me ASDF Movie.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's kind of funny to think about, because I watch, Oni Plays all the time now, too. He's, like, one of my favorite YouTubers. But, like, thinking about how this dude was like, I've been watching his shit since I was like fucking 15, 14 and shit.
Another YouTuber where I always like recollect like that is Uber Nova.
Yeah, man.
But I'll start thinking of him, but then my mind goes straight to the Creature Hub.
And
you
like,
wanna know something funny?
what?
You ever considered that the guy who made ASDF Movie, Tomska, he still makes things, just they're not animation.
What?
He makes like skit comedy.
Tobuscus too. Fucking.
He disappeared for a couple of years due to.
No, there was a good reason for him disappearing, with like the allegations and shit.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
now he's
a
back.
lot of allegations. I remember fucking watching his like Minecraft Let's Plays and listening to his music.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing I hate about Tobuscus. I hate watching his Skyrim Let's Plays. But he was the type of guy who had like 500 plus parts to it.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Uber Haxer Nova, but I only really liked watching him when he was a part of the Creatures or a part of Cow Chop. I really liked Cow Chop. Like there were a lot of good episodes, and like it's kind of sad to see like big channels like that like come together and then fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Cow Chop's still going. Alex is still in it. It's just James had to leave due to fucking like medical issues.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can't fucking. LA's too cancerous. I can't fucking stay here.
It's weird. I mean, you see a lot of channels kind of fall apart with time, but it's even weirder when they all come together and then fall apart.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm glad to say though?
Well,
If you told me that we would still be doing this probably around like we've been doing this for almost like a year and a half or so.
really, we've actually passed a year?
I think so.
That's fucking wild.
And like I'm like, yeah, this shit's still going and I'm still happy with it. Like I'm still having fun and shit.
Cause I mean, we started this because we just ghoul every week anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, fuck it.
Might as well make something of it instead of just hanging out, drinking.
Might as well embarrass ourselves on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
As we do.
And it's like, it's interesting to think about too, because like, at least we're doing something with this time.
Yeah. Other than just drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Until, we don't record and we just drink. The times where we get the most fucked up.
The first episode was 8 months ago. We're almost nearing a year.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
I messed up the timeline. I'm gonna get butchered in the comments when we actually get a following.
You're gonna die.
What was your favorite, like, early YouTube age YouTuber?
Honestly, I miss from like 2013 to 2016 as a
Like-
period of age.
Way back when, there are 3 people from like old YouTube that I remember. They were all gaming related.
Mm-hmm.
One was a Minecraft Let's Player who had like 500 episodes, and I watched all of them. And I remember specifically he was Canadian because he'd just tell stories of like.
Was it Bajan Canadian?
I don't know. It wasn't advertised on his name or whatever. I just remember in videos he would mention the fact that he's Canadian, but I don't remember his name, but fucking he was the thing. There was one guy who I don't think exists anymore. He was called like Phantom X Miser. He played like horror games and shit, and I thought that was funny way back when. And there was another guy who is probably still around in some incarnation, but he always was called Brad, and he was fucking he would do videos where he was like really easily scared by things, And the most popular one that I knew of was like Holy Shit, That's a Bear, where he played Condemned 2, and there's a bit where a giant bear chases you and you just panicked about it. And it's probably not even that funny anymore, like, at all, but when I was young, I fucking loved that shit.
I was really late to the game when it came to YouTube, where, like, I only actually started watching YouTube when I was in, like, grade 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite YouTubers was it was early PewDiePie and Markiplier.
I watched some early PewDiePie when he was still doing a bit of Amnesia stuff. Markiplier I always watched after that point.
Mm-hmm. And Amnesia was like the golden age of PewDiePie. And I got into Markiplier when he was doing he was playing a lot of obscure horror games, but one of his biggest ones was obviously Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mm-hmm. I remember when that started being a thing.
That's when I first got into Markiplier, and that's when a lot of people got into Markiplier, because he was one of the people that made Five Nights at Freddy's most popular.
Mm-hmm. I actually saw a thing recently, getting off kind of old YouTubers, recent stuff. There's I believe he's a fairly recent YouTuber, but he recently did he did a video where he basically
the Markiplier effect.
No.
Okay, different thing.
This is a little more along the lines of something I'd be into, but he did the Five Nights at Freddy games are very easy to basically reverse engineer.
Uh-huh.
So you can basically actually get access to their code very easily. And he did a video just examining how, he didn't get like technical or weird about the code, but he basically looked at the code itself and explained how all the mechanics work. And so there was like a lot of stuff like how on the first few nights Freddy isn't even active.
Yeah.
And he told like basically the exact chances of what certain events could happen and what they actually do, and how there was one because I enjoyed the original Five Nights at Freddy's when it was a thing. I still think it was a pretty well crafted game, even now.
It was very innovative.
But there were things I still didn't know because I was kind of passively watching it. But I didn't know that the way Freddy works is he enters the room and then hangs out there. So it's like, whereas the other ones, they come to your door and you have to close the door to keep them out. With Freddy, he hangs at the door, comes in, and then waits till you look at a camera, and only then does he strike. There's like stuff like if someone's about to enter in, you can actually delay them by looking at your camera.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
When one of the animatronics that comes to scare, has the jump scare.
Yeah.
But there's a thing you can do where you can just switch in and out of the camera, and the time still continues, and you can make it past 6.
And it's like everything works in intervals of 3 seconds. There was one thing like when you run out of power, you basically sit there and you can't. It's just in darkness, and then like a little tune starts, and then after a delay, you get killed.
Mm-hmm.
But that's on a random timer. So sometimes you will have like only a few seconds. Other times you'll have just more seconds, and it might be the difference between whether you succeed or fail. And one of the interesting things was examining like how, because you can change the difficulty of each animatronic and you can get like 20 mode or whatever. Everything works basically they change states and where they are in intervals of 3 seconds, or they do checks. Paraphrasing a lot here, but essentially every number of seconds they will do a check to see where they are and where they can go, and then they'll go somewhere. But on 20 mode, they are basically every 3 seconds they will be somewhere else, and they will actually where they are can impact where they're going to go, and they can just like hound you constantly like that every 3 seconds. But I just thought it was a really interesting thing to look at, just breaking down the code of this game and seeing how everything actually functions.
Five Nights at Freddy's is honestly, I know, meme, cringe. I'm actually someone who's actually really invested in the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, because I actually find it really interesting if you actually watch lore-based videos on it. I'd recommend, obviously, Game Theorist, the meme, Matt Pat. you make some pretty good videos that like kind of blow your mind in a sense, from a basic indie game to what it is at now.
I enjoy the lore in a way. The problem I have with it is just this kind of culture it tries to create for itself, where it's like, aha, look at us, we're so wacky and deep. When it's like, it's fine to have some lore and some like hidden little bits to it, but the way game theory went about it and the way how I believe it's Scott Cawthon who made it, the way he kind of responded to it's like, you're close but not quite, and the way they kind of went back and forth with it, I feel it aggrandized it way more. And it reached a point where I'm just like,
it was something that was made to be a lot more simple, and then they just kind of
wanted to fucking make it go wild.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, it just all started with a guy wanting to put the pieces together, because if you play 1, 2, and 3, you don't really fully understand what's happening. You want to know why, say, the first game.
Well, yeah, and there is stuff there. It's just
you want to know the story to the game.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't help that Scott is a fucking troll.
I don't care much. This is just drunk Eric speaking, but I don't care much for a story that, like, it's being written as it goes on, because, like, that's just kind of what it felt like to me. It felt like it was a very basic idea at first.
We're making a new game, so what story can we make out of it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll give it the granted, it was a very good, innovative game when it first came out, but like after that, after you strip all of that away, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing things about it.
A good way to kind of exemplify it is the Bite of 87. Because I was introduced in the first game, they mention, oh yeah, we don't want another Bite of 87, and it's like this weird thing. It was literally just supposed to be one of those things that you say, something bad happened once, there's no real detail to it, it's just, we had a problem once, you don't want it again. Mm-hmm. But then in the later games, they're like, we've got the lore, the Bite of 87! Whoa!
Yeah, the whole Markiplier meme.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. It's like, yeah.
And then YouTubers like Matt Pat, they'll take that and run with it too. Mm-hmm. Like Matt Pat, I like some of his content, but I feel like it's just, he just looks too far into some of these things too.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the name of the game for him.
That's kind of his job. His job is to fucking examine every single detail possible.
It's kind of the reason I don't really watch him anymore. It's just, I get it's his job, but I've reached a point where I'm like, well, I'm not particularly
I'm more like interested in the fact that like Scott Cawthon made this one game. It's all expanded into this due to people. Not just him adding lore and all of that, because we see games like that, oh, look at all this lore, no one fucking cares. But then with Five Nights at Freddy's, that's due to people like Matt Pat, who's been able to put the story together, and Scott Cawthon's just sitting there like, okay, how'd you do that? That's sick. Let's continue doing this. Let's have it's a game in the end.
You're getting me sales.
Yeah. I stop liking games like that as soon as they get an RPG about them. And you know what Five Nights at Freddy's has?
Oh, it had an RPG.
It has an RPG.
Five Nights.
But that's enough about Five Nights at Freddy's. Now it's time to talk about Bendy and the Ink Machine.
I know nothing about it.
Me neither. Let's go on to something else.
You do that. I'm gonna go do this.
Tyler,
shoot.
If you were to have a T-shirt made, what would you put on the T-shirt?
Oh, God.
God?
No. It's just a picture of me.
A picture of you? So that they know who to return the T-shirt to after you rip it off at a rave and throw it at someone?
Yeah. I can totally see myself doing that, though.
I can, too.
That's something we have to try one day. I know it's not like our scene or anything, but just like experience something like that, it'd be cool.
I'd like to go to a rave at some point, but I don't think I'm not really big into drugs and shit. As strange as that sounds.
Eric's fucking looks like he's on drugs all the time.
I've only ever done pot and shrooms, but
oh.
Yeah, I've done shrooms before, just once.
But like the whole rave culture seems interesting to me, because I'm the kind of guy who's like, oh, I want to try Molly one day. I want to try that kind of stuff just once, kind of deal.
I know people that have done Molly.
It just seems like an interesting trade. I want to see how it work with my mind, kind of deal. Because you see these people, they're just fucking grooving, they're like, "Ee," just grooving to 80s music, kind of deal.
It's one thing that I would like to do once.
Yeah. Oh, podcast idea.
No, we can't do a podcast at a rave.
No, I'm gonna do a podcast high and low.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Podcast at a rave, though, would be such a stupid... Like, Tyler, what do you feel about...
It'd be difficult to do. You'd have to get like one of those like private area type deal.
And then what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, yes, we're doing it at a rave, but it's very sound quality friendly.
Ain't out here trying to get that copyright.
Yeah, fair point. Kyle, I have a hypothetical for you.
Oh no.
What if you had a cool hypothetical and you really wanted to ask us it? Go.
Well, I think I dance around it while trying to figure it out in my head, trying to reason it out while speaking, which is very hard to do because my thoughts are stupid and my mouth is stupid. But then I'd ask, and I'd probably be something like, "So I got this hypothetical for you," and then I'd tell you the hypothetical. What do you think that hypothetical would be?
I think it would be something like, okay, since we already did this before, Eric, what's a movie that you haven't seen? And then I want you to give a dedicated synopsis of it. What movie haven't I seen, Kyle?
Well, you haven't seen,
The Lighthouse.
I have seen The Lighthouse, so that one wouldn't work.
You haven't seen the original 12 Monkeys.
The original 12 Monkeys. Okay, so let me paint the picture for you. The movie starts and it's kind of like a space odyssey, except without the big giant black cube in the middle and all the monkeys are like throwing bricks at each other and shit. It's without that. There's trees and stuff. So there's 12 monkeys. They're jumping around on trees, and there's 12 of them. And then they're like, and then they turn into people, but later. Like they throw a brick up in the air and it falls and it hits someone. And then they're like, okay, yeah, we're like they're gorillions of years in the future. And then the apocalypse happens. And then they get shoved in the Matrix, and they're like, okay, there are 12 of us. It's almost like they're doing a test on us. It's almost like we're 12 monkeys. And then they start rolling the credits.
It's almost like there's 12 of us.
And then one of them has a really cool bionic eye, because I remember that's what's on the cover.
The cover of what?
The cover of 12 Monkeys, the movie 12 Monkeys.
No, it's not.
Well, maybe I'm imagining a different movie like Spliced, where it's spliced.
Probably.
But there's a bionic eye, and they're like, yes, we are 12 monkeys. Liam Neeson's, I think, in it. And he's like, oh,
alright, cool. You are almost right, except for everywhere.
Can
okay.
we end this now? We're at an hour and 32.
I need to do dedicated 12 Monkeys in movie. Okay, so 12 monkeys. They're like, we are in the
Blame you.
we are in the apocalypse. There are 12 of us, and we are monkeys. And they're like, and then they start killing each other, and they start I haven't seen 12 Monkeys. I don't even know anything about 12 monkeys, but they start shooting each other, and it's like, oh my god, it's almost like this was a simulation.
You want to hear the fun fact about it?
Okay.
There are no monkeys.
Well, I kind of figured that, but it's a metaphor. You just copyrighted bruh, Tyler. This video is gonna get taken down, and they're gonna sue you. Kyle, I have a favor to ask you.
Okay.
Okay, so let me know if this is true or not. At the end of 12 Monkeys, they end the podcast.
Yeah, at the end of 12 Monkeys, Bruce Willis went back in time, and then he
was
said,
Bruce
"Kill
Willis.
the feed!"